Hey, this is Nurjahan, and today I'm going to show you 4 things not to do when you're belly dancing. Now, you guys know that I usually like to approach belly dancing in a really loving way because belly dance is practiced so many different ways around the world. There's no one right way to belly dance. So I like to be encouraging and open because it's about celebrating your body. It's about really feeling good in your body and the way that it moves. And also, there are some things that if you do them, it's not really belly dance. So if you were in my classroom, here are the things that I would correct if I saw you doing them, or encourage you to shift if I saw you doing them. Make sure that you have water so you can stay hydrated, and because we're gonna do a little bit of practice here. And if you have a scarf, go ahead and put it on. You can check out the hip scarf tying video to know how to tie it properly, and we'll jump in. Here's the first thing that you should always avoid doing when you're belly dancing. Okay, you guys might know the hip check kind of move. I think people call them hip lifts. There's so many different things that you can call them, but basically it's one leg straight, one leg slightly bent, just popping your hip out. People do them in different ways. You can do them however feels good to you. You can do it in a circle. Here's what to avoid when you're doing it, because if you do this, it doesn't look like belly dance, okay? It's bouncing your whole body. So as you're checking your hips, if you're bouncing your whole body, you might be doing some kind of bop, but it's not really belly dance. Belly dance, you have a sturdy body, okay? Your core is staying relatively still while you're popping your hip out. Even when you're going in a circle, the center of your body is staying relatively still while your hip is popping out. And the reason for this dancing is about isolation. So you're isolating your hips, and you want to keep your hips isolated so that they actually are what's drawing the eye. So you want to keep your hips isolated because they're the focus of the movement. If you're bouncing your whole body, then your whole body is the movement instead of just having your hips be that movement. So that's number one. Make sure that when you're doing your hip lifts and drops, that you're keeping your body steady while moving your hips. Now, along the same lines comes number two. Number two is, as you're rotating your hips or your chest, you want to keep them separated. So sometimes when people are first learning and they're trying to do a hip movement or a chest movement, they'll end up moving their bodies like this. Now, when you're moving your body like that, your hips and your chest are moving in response to each other. They're not separated, they're not isolated. In belly dance, you want to keep those different parts of your body isolated, meaning your hips can move in one motion and your chest can move in a different motion, but they're separated from each other. They're still staying isolated because your belly is controlling your hips, your belly is controlling your chest, your hips are not controlling your chest, and your chest is not controlling your hips. So you want to avoid this and focus on separating each movement. Now, if you want to be able to practice that, I recommend going to my stretching videos or my warm-up videos because they help you practice isolating each body part. Okay, that brings us to number three. Number three is all about the arms and the hands. Sometimes when we first start learning how to belly dance, we're so focused on the hips or the chest that we forget about the arms. And then you can be dancing and just keeping your arms and hands at your side. And if you do that, you're not getting the drama of belly dance. It's the hands and wrists add so much seduction and attention. They're almost a frame for the body. So make sure that as you're dancing, you're using your arms. They don't always have to be moving. They can be in one specific place, but they're still purposeful. So your arms and your hands are purposeful whether they're moving or not, but they're assisting that movement. And if you like help with your arms and hands, you can check out the arms and hands video that I have, but just making sure that they're a purposeful part of your movement is key to get that full seduction of belly dance. And that brings us to number 4. And I would argue that number 4 is the most important thing. It is, to me, the most vital part of belly dance, even though it has very little to do with the actual dance. So when you're dancing, we've talked about isolation, we've talked about having a steadiness to your body, we've talked about using your arms. The most important thing in my mind, in my thoughts, in my practice is eye contact. It's confidence. It's being able to hold eye contact either with the people around you or even with yourself, dancing in front of the mirror, looking with eye contact, feeling confident. And if you want support with eye contact, you can check out my video on sensuality. But for right now, go ahead and practice dancing, holding eye contact either with me, with yourself in the mirror. One of my favorite practices with eye contact is to, right before I go into the shower, I dance in front of the mirror and practice watching myself dance, making eye contact with myself, and thinking only positive thoughts about myself, my dance, my body, just allowing all the critical thoughts that naturally come into my head to just fade away, and practice telling myself amazing things, either out loud or to myself, and holding that eye contact. If you can hold eye contact with yourself, you can hold eye contact with anybody. It's the key to confidence, and for me, it is the key to an amazing belly dancer. I can see a great belly dancer going around and doing all these amazing moves, but if this person is looking at the floor the entire time and never making eye contact with the person or people around them, then that's just, to me, a sign that they're not owning the fullness of the movement. They're not owning their belly dance, their sensuality, their confidence. They're not claiming that room. And to me, belly dancing is so much about claiming every room that you walk into. It's about that confidence. It's about saying, this is my stuff, man. There's something about eye contact that just blows everything else out of the water. Okay, those are the 4 things to avoid when you're belly dancing, or on the flip side, the 4 things to make sure that you're practicing when you're belly dancing. Go ahead and feel free to comment below. Let me know how it's going for you. Let me know if you have any questions about that. As always, you guys can follow me on social media. My Instagram, my Facebook links are below. You can follow my Spotify playlist. Make sure that you stay hydrated and take care of that beautiful body of yours. I can't wait to dance with you next time.